So in today's show, we're going to talk about working out exactly who we are and how it can help us. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman. If you are coming through, please do let me know, whether it's the form of hitting a blue thumb button or dropping your thoughts in the comments to let me know what you think of this, if this helps, if this resonates. So I want to talk about the number one thing that really had the biggest impact in my mental well-being and mental health. And it was the biggest thing that in fact was the sliding door moment, the turning point in the way that I was living my life to crumble into a 3-year drought in life, if you like. Okay, and what I mean by drought is being in no man's land, being stuck in the trenches in a rut. So when I left the Royal Marines, I left as a sergeant. So I had complete identity. I knew who I was. I knew what I was aiming to do. I knew what I was trying to achieve in my career. I had purpose, passion, and desire. And then when I left the military on a Friday. And on the Monday, I walked into an office of a local college as a lecturer. And for 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years, I was constantly trying to be Sergeant James Boardman. I was trying to live the life that I had made for myself in the military. So I was clinging hold of this identity and everything it stood for. But the problem was that identity and that man that I created when I left the military just didn't work within the environment that I walked into. I wasn't able to be Sergeant James Boardman in a civilian world, in a college, in the way that I was about to live my life. So what I had is conflicting identities. And I would call this an identity crisis. And I was unwilling to let go of this identity of myself as a Sergeant James Boardman to becoming just James Boardman. I was unable to let go of it because it's all I knew for so many years. It's what kept me strong, it's what kept me level-headed, it's what kept me happy. And this guy, just a normal James Boardman, just didn't seem enough. He didn't know what he wanted out of life. He didn't know what direction he was going. He didn't know how to start again. And during those 3 years, I battled with my own identity to figure out who the fuck I was and where the hell I was going. And because of that battle, because of that clash of identities, I did stupid things like drink. I was never myself. I was turbo selfish. I was only ever really thinking of me. I let down my kids, let down my wife at the time. We ended up divorced. And I just wasn't thinking clearly for many years. I was on what I always describe to a lot of the lads as being on the hamster wheel and firefighting, rather than trying to figure out who I was. And I want to kind of talk about the turning point, the U-turn through this. And that U-turn was when I left the college, and I started my own business. Now let me tell you why this was the turning point. Sit down now. Because I suddenly went from being in a job that offered me no drive, no focus, no passion, no desire, to suddenly starting day one, week one on a brand new project, which was my business. And when I started that business, I had to form a brand new identity, and that brand new identity would develop and grow. So everything that I talk about and teach is everything that I was learning on the way. And as I grew this brand new identity, through entrepreneurship, the one here that I could never let go, I started to release. So one project allowed me to forget another. And since around 2014, I've been on this journey of entrepreneurship, of learning about work-life balance, of learning about what I want, the directions that I want to go, the things I want to achieve, the outcomes that I want to have reached. Okay. And I got to a point maybe 3-4 years ago where I'd completely allowed myself to let go of that identity. And if you asked me 4 years ago if I missed the military, I'd say yes. If you asked me if I missed the military today, I'd say no. But I cherish the memories and where it took me. And that is how I know I've let go of that identity and created the identity I have today. The guys that you know as me, as JB, I formed this identity by working my nuts off on the Man Coach for 4 years. I run a local boot camp in my local town for 7 years. And I formed that identity because I live life on my terms now. I have rules that are in my life. I have goals. I have aspirations. And now I fully have formed this brand new identity. And one of the reasons my mental awareness and mental health is much, much better than it was all those years ago is because I have 3 things. Consistency of action against my identity, against the things I want to achieve. Control of my balance, my time and my energy by having that brand new identity. And clarity of who I am, the direction that I'm going and where I'm heading. And I think when you have those 3 things mixed in with the identity that you know that you are, that you truly are, the potential that you have, I think it forms a level of happiness that can't be challenged. A level of contentment, fulfillment, drive, desire, passion, all of the things that we fail to have. These are all of the disconnects that we have right now that play with the mental health, that play with everything that's going on. And somebody criticised me last week saying, I had a really bad day, just stop moaning about it, dust yourself and get on with it. Because that was my attitude when I had mental health. Straight talking's what got me going. It's not for everybody. But for me, some of the ways to combat mental health is actually understanding who we are. Understanding, okay, instead of saying I'm never happy, understanding what makes us happy, what puts us in that right direction. And when we have more clarity, consistency and control of that, the more content we feel, the more stable we feel, the more happy and fulfilled we can become, okay? I mean, that's a talk that I could go on for hours, okay? But I've just managed to do that in 8 minutes. Just to kind of give you some summarise, some thinking points, and some ideas. All right, guys, I hope that helps. It's good to be back. Good to see you back. Look at that beautiful sky. It's not really showing very well on my shit camera, but have a great day, and I will catch you all soon.